As you enter the gates of Universitas Negeri Jakarta, prepare to take a unique academic journey in a place where multicultural perspectives and practices create an atmosphere that will meet your highest expectations and help you reach your goals. Situated in the heart of the capital city of Indonesia, Universitas Negeri Jakarta has played an important role in developing scholarship in education, science, art, technology, and sport since 1964. Formerly established as Teacher Training Institute, Universitas Negeri Jakarta has a long history in providing the state with outstanding teachers. A 1999 mandate by the Ministry of Education and Culture sparked a period of dynamic expansion within the institution, turning it into the leading state university in Indonesia that it is today.
Untuk menghadapi tantangan global di era revolusi industri, diperlukan sumber daya manusia yang unggul, yaitu sumber daya manusia yang kompeten, kreatif, komunikatif, dan kolaboratif. UNJ sebagai perguruan tinggi mempunyai tugas utama dalam bidang kependidikan dan non-kependidikan, juga mempunyai tanggung jawab untuk menghasilkan sumber daya manusia yang unggul. Saat ini, UNJ menetapkan dirinya melalui visi menjadi universitas bereputasi di kawasan Asia. Oleh karena itu, segala daya upaya sekarang ini diupayakan untuk mengembangkan segala potensi yang dimiliki dan berkolaborasi dengan berbagai pihak untuk mencapai reputasi tersebut.
With enlightening and elevating the nation as its motto, Universitas Negeri Jakarta offers world-class programs combined with a touch of local culture through sports, multiculturalism, local wisdom, future leadership, and entrepreneurship. Achievements in pencaksilat, gymnastics, arts, languages, humanities, social and natural sciences stem from a focus on student-centered practical and innovative teaching and learning practices have received international recognition. Our 8 faculties: Faculty of Education, Faculty of Languages and Arts, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, Faculty of Social Sciences, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Sports Sciences, Faculty of Economics, Faculty of Psychological Education, Graduate School, Master Programs. Graduate School, Doctoral Programs. One graduate school and 101 study programs comprising of diploma, undergraduate, and postgraduate levels, Universitas Negeri Jakarta will prepare you to meet the demands of local and global professional industries. Warm welcomes awaits you as you become a member of Universitas Negeri Jakarta's family.
Good morning, everyone. Attention, friends. The workshop with topic digital branding and employability is about to start.
Attendees are advised to activate or turn on the camera feature and deactivate or turn off the microphone feature because the event is about to start.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhayo, healthy and goodness greetings to all of us.
First of all, let's give praise and gratitude together to the presence of the Almighty God. Because of the blessings, we can meet together at the event. Digital branding and employability held through collaboration between the State University of Jakarta, Economic Faculty, and United Nations Development Program for Indonesia.
The Honorable Mr. Abdul Samad Khan Wazir, Movers Envoy from Pakistan Movers Program as our speakers today. The Honorable Dean of the Faculty of Economics, Jakarta State University, Prof. Usep Suhud, MSc PhD. The Honorable Deputy Dean 3 for Student Affairs and Alumni of the Faculty of Economics, Prof. Dr. Indra Pahala, MSc. Dear Sirs and Madam Study Program Coordinator, Bachelor of Office Administration Education, Bachelor of Business Education, Bachelor of Economics Education, Bachelor of Management, Bachelor of Accounting, Bachelor of Degree in Accounting Education, Master in Management, and Master of Economics Education.
Furthermore, respect to all organizers, media partners, sponsors, lecturers, and other invited guests, which we cannot mention one by one. I, Muhammad Jafarhan, and my college,
Muhammad Alfinsi, also called KJ, will be the master of ceremony of today's event. Good morning and welcome all attendees to this STEM event, Digital Branding and Employability, to understand the concept of digital branding and the importance of employability in current era.
Before we start our event, KJ, have you ever thought about how important digital branding is for our careers and what benefits it brings us to our business life?
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about it lately, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure what it entails.
Well, digital branding is basically how you present yourself online, like through social media, personal websites, or even your LinkedIn profile. All building who you are and what you can do.
Wow, can you explain it more? It seems really important, especially in this current era, where social media and your appearance online is very looked upon by everyone.
Well, that's what we will discuss today with our honorable speaker, Mr. Abdul Samad Khan Wazir. Good morning, sir. Are you in this Zoom online? I'm sorry, your voice cannot be heard by us. I'm sorry, your voice is still cannot be heard by us.
Apologies. Can you hear me now?
A little bit low voice. Can you speak up more?
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Okay, a little bit more clear.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll just remove this for now.
Okay.
Oh, now is it clear now?
Oh yeah, it's more clear now.
Okay. Thank you. I think there was some issue with my earphones. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before it was really low, really low.
Yeah. Fine. I hope there is no noise in the background.
No, not really.
Fine.
No,
That's
it's
good.
only your voice.
All right. Then it's great. Okay. So thank you so much. I'm really grateful to the State University of Jakarta for collaborating with the Movers program and Skills Are Future, and for bringing up this workshop on digital branding and employability for the students. Today, we would be talking about digital branding and employability and how we can use LinkedIn for this purpose. So I just want to confirm if you have anything in between the agenda, or should I continue with the workshop? If you have anything, so I'll wait for that.
Well, before we start to the main topic, can you please introduce yourself first?
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. Okay, so first of all, assalamu alaikum once again, and a very good morning. It's, I think, right now 7:43 here in Pakistan. I'm Abdul Samad Khan Wazir from Pakistan. I basically am a Movers Envoy at Movers program, and I've been engaged with the Movers program for the past 3 years. And I've been engaged in facilitating workshops on digital branding and employability and other various modules related to the sustainable development goals. So my educational background is a business administration. I have done bachelor's of business administration with specialization in Islamic banking and finance. And currently I'm pursuing my master's degree, MS in Islamic business and finance. So academically, I'm more aligned towards the field of Islamic finance. So that's a bit of my academic background, and my interests are obviously aligned with the sustainable development goal and the sustainability agenda. So that's a little bit about over to you if you want to add something.
Jadi nama tempatnya Retobi.
Okay, Mister. Can we call you Mr. Abdul, or do you have any other nicknames you prefer?
You can call me Mr. Abdul. Yeah, no
Yeah.
issue.
Okay, thank you for your wonderful introduction, Mr. Abdul. But I'm really wondering, what is Movers really is, Mr. Abdul?
What?
What is Movers?
Okay, so Movers program. Okay, so actually Movers program is a volunteer movement, right? And it's a volunteer movement of youth across Asia Pacific, where people from different diverse backgrounds come together. They organize workshops within their own community. And we'll also talk about this Movers program, that how the knowledge flow through the Movers journey, right? Initially, you are a participant, you learn, then you apply, and then you move. That's why we call it movers. Then you move the knowledge, like you disseminate the knowledge. So this is the concept of movers, right? I think one of our fellow Anahita, she really explained it in one of her previous interview, that when someone asked her what is actually a mover, so she said that I anticipate that mover, like initially you're static, but then when you learn something, you apply, you move that knowledge. So you ensure the flow. So I think that's one of the basic idea behind the movers program and the concept as I would like to explain.
Okay, thank you so much for the brief introduction and explanation, Mr. Abdul. Okay, without further ado, we invite Mr. Abdul Samad Khan Wazir to deliver his material for approximately 16 minutes during this event. With all due respects, Mr. Abdul Samad Khan Wazir, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so I would like to share my screen for the workshop. Let me share. Can you kindly confirm my screen is visible, right?
Yes, it is usable.
Okay, so we are done with the introduction. My introduction is done. And today's workshop is obviously, as you know, on digital branding and employability. Okay, so actually this module was developed by Movers program in collaboration with LinkedIn coaches. At that time, it was called as LinkedIn Social Impact. I remember that when I joined for the first time, the Movers program. And before moving towards the workshop, these rules are not something to make you a bit frightened, but just to ensure a safe space for everyone in this workshop, right? So we have these movers rules, which are listen with the 10. Okay. So we have these movers rules, which includes listen with attention and share with intention. So everyone is encouraged to share their ideas in the chat. And we're not here to judge each other. We are here to learn from each other, right? Another rule is suspend judgment, as I already mentioned, and trust the process and the facilitator, obviously, and have fun and make new friends. It's all about networking. And in LinkedIn, we will also talk about the importance of networking, right? And share your thoughts, ideas, and feelings anytime in the chat. You are free to share your ideas in the chat anytime, and we'll look into it, okay? So moving forward, I already, I think, a little bit explained, but here is also a slide about the Movers program that it wants to mobilize youth across Asia Pacific to raise awareness about the sustainable development goals and 21st century skills, as we mentioned, and develop entrepreneurial mindsets, right? So how do we do that? We do that by organizing workshops within our own communities at the grassroots level. So the good thing about Movers is that you move. So after the Movers workshop, you can bring the same knowledge, the same content to your community and to your friends as well, right? Okay, so what is the agenda for today's workshop? In today's workshop, what we will cover is we will start with the introduction, then what is LinkedIn, then we would talk about a brand and what makes a good brand, and defining your professional brand, where we talk about the personal branding and how LinkedIn plays a role in that. Then we talk about how to build your LinkedIn profile, optimization of your LinkedIn profile, right? And how to build your network, a professional network, how to approach it. I mean, whether that should be strategically or just randomly. And then how to search for jobs, internships, and schools on LinkedIn. And about the LinkedIn learning feature, we will also talk about that, where you can continuously learn a lot of new things in demand industry skills using the LinkedIn learning feature. Okay, so already I explained before as well about the Movers journey. So first you learn as a participant, then you apply, right? And then you teach. So initially, since childhood, we have been learning. The day we took our first breath, we have been learning. Then we implemented that, and then we moved forward. And then when you teach, so you ensure that the flow of knowledge is continued, and you pass it on to the future generation or to the other businesses around you, right? So that's the overall philosophy of Movers journey. Okay, so before moving, as I said before, I count on everyone's participation. Let's make it an interactive workshop. I would like to ask you a question. What is LinkedIn? I mean, what is your idea of LinkedIn and how much you know about it? You can give your response in the chat and I'll check it out one by one. Okay, you can feel free to share your responses in the chat. I have my eyes on it. Okay, so the question is, I hope, even if you're not familiar with it, you can even write that. It's okay, because in today's workshop, we are going to explore that. Okay, anyways, so we will be talking about this. ahead in the workshop as well, what is LinkedIn and for how we can use it to our own benefit for our personal branding. So LinkedIn is actually a professional platform where you network, where you talk about business opportunities, job opportunities, right? Different people, different professionals from around the world are connected on this platform, right? So we'll be looking into it one by one. Okay, if I ask you, okay, I think I have one response. Okay, so Nathan said, I only understand it's an alternative for CVs. Yes, it is one of the responses. That's correct. Fine. There is no wrong and right answer, as I said before. You're free to share your responses. We won't judge it based on whether that's wrong or that's right. We know everyone here is to learn, right? So feel free to share responses. Okay, so if I ask you, what was the last platform that you used? Whether that was Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Spotify, WhatsApp, or TikTok. And maybe that's a very personal question. What is the last thing you did on that? But anyways, what was the last platform that you used? Or even you can share it if you want to share it. That was the last thing you did on any of these platforms. Okay, TikTok, right. So Gizia said that she used TikTok. That was the last platform she used. Anyone else would like to share? Instagram, right? Instagram. Okay, that's great. Facebook, Spotify. Okay, so if anyone would like to share, I'm not forcing anyone. What is the last thing you did on that? If that's not something very personal, if that's something like you would feel free to share. Only that. Anyways, we can just take an example, right? So for example, if I say that about Facebook in the context of a donut, right? I might post a status saying I like donuts, right? That just an example. Or on Instagram, I might say, see, here is a cool photo of my donut. I take a very cool photo of it, right? And on Pinterest, I might say, here is a donut recipe. Similarly, on Spotify, it might seem a bit strange, but I might say that I'm listening to donuts, right? And on WhatsApp, I might say, anyone wants a donut? I post a status. And on TikTok, you might say, watch me dance with a donut. I mean, like, see, every platform reflects its own mindset, the purpose for what it is used, right? So each and every platform reflects a similar mindset accordingly. So the main purpose behind this slide was that, you see, no matter whichever platform it is used for a certain purpose, right? Facebook might be used in a different manner. Instagram might be used in a different manner. Spotify in a different manner. Like you might use Spotify for listening to podcasts or songs or anything else. So every platform has its own use cases. Now, if I ask you, how many of you recently used LinkedIn? Or if there was anyone who used LinkedIn, and what is the last thing you did on LinkedIn? I would be very interested about that. I'll be waiting for your response in the chat section. Okay, so any one of you who used LinkedIn? Okay, so updating my personal experience. Muhammad used it for updating his personal experience. Anyone else who used it can feel free to share their response. Okay, so see, if we look at it in the context of Muhammad, so he actually used LinkedIn for updating his experience, which means he was concerned about his professional brand. And he actually wanted to enhance and update his personal brand by updating his personal experience. That, see, this is what I have been recently doing, or this is how many years of experience I have in a certain field or in a certain domain, right? So that reflects actually what? A professional mindset. And that's why we say that LinkedIn is a platform for professional. So on LinkedIn, always a professional mindset is reflected, until unless you do not make like irrelevant use of it, because on every platform you might see people making an irrelevant use of it, right? So that's a separate case. But the main purpose, the primary purpose of LinkedIn is that it's for professional reasons and for professional purposes, right? So again, if we take the same previous example as we used it in the context of Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and other platforms. So if we take the example of donut, I might talk about business, jobs, opportunities, endorsements, skills, and recommendations. So these are some of the things which I would be talking about on LinkedIn. For example, I might say, I hope to operate a donut franchise one day. So that's I'm talking about business, right? I might say I'm looking for a job in a donut company. Again, I'm talking about a job opportunity. I'm hunting for a job and I'm telling people, okay, I'm looking for a job. No, nothing wrong in that, because on LinkedIn, you are for that purpose, right?
Orang
Again,
luar.
you might say that I have 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, how many years of experience in making donuts? So you're talking about the years of experience you have in making donuts or in doing any job within your own field relating to your certain domain, right? Or you might talk about your top skills, which are donut production and sales. Or you might talk about, see, here are my skills. Here are this many of people who are expert within this field, who have endorsed my skill set. I'll also give you a live demo and I'll tell you what's the endorsement feature, how people endorse, right? So in that context, it actually validates your skill set, right? That these people actually validated that, yes, this person has this skill and he is worthy of it. He possesses that skill set, right? Or you might talk about recommendations, like your boss might have given you a recommendation, your colleagues might have given you a recommendation. So we again talk about recommendation, endorsement skills, jobs, business, all of this as a whole, if you see, reflects a professional mindset. So that's what we talk about when we are thinking about LinkedIn and what we use it for. Again, we have some stats from LinkedIn itself, right? Because it might be a little bit old, but this is what came from LinkedIn itself. And according to that, more than 50 million employers are on LinkedIn with millions of open job opportunities. Now, just think about it. You might have heard about one post, 1,000 candidates, right? But here you have millions of open job opportunities with millions of employers actually seeking candidates for that. So opportunities are a lot, but it's all about how you grab it, right? So it all depends upon how you build your professional network and how you actually connect to opportunity and grab it, okay? So also you can see that you can find a lot of diversity on LinkedIn, like because there are more than 706 million professionals in over 200 countries on LinkedIn. Okay, so just see, a lot of countries, you get different geographical backgrounds, people from a lot of professionals from whom you can reach out to, you can learn something. In fact, you can reach out to them, okay, I'm interested in this field, you are an expert of that. I would require a few minutes of you to guide me on this and that. So they can guide you on certain things, on certain lines of action, which you want actually to move on in your future, right? So just think about it in this manner. Then again, about community, building up your community, there are 2.9 million groups on LinkedIn to grow your community, right? Maybe it might be more than that right now. So once again, it's full of opportunities. This platform is full of opportunities. It's all about how you build your professional network, connect to the opportunity, right? Okay, now we talk about the part of branding. So in this part, we would talk about what makes a good brand, and we would talk about identifying your brand and showing that you are the right choice. How do you show that you are the right choice? Obviously, we would talk about it in the context of LinkedIn. And okay, I hope all of you, most of you are from an economics background and business background. So you would have a very good idea of what makes a good brand or what is a brand, right? So if I take your perspective, what according to you, it's necessarily need not to be the bookish definition, but what is your perspective on what makes a good brand? I would be interested in that. If you can kindly give your response in the chat, that would be really great. Yeah. So what according to you makes a good brand? Everyone has his own perspective. Everyone has his own value proposition. So based on that, I'm interested in what according to you makes a good brand. Okay, anyways, meanwhile, while you type your response in the chat, I'll go through it. Okay, so a brand, as you see, obviously is a company's promise to its customer, right? So when you're building a brand, you define how you want to be perceived and you make a promise. So obviously, a brand is a company's promise to its customers. And it tells customer what they can expect from the company's products and services. I mean, there is a certain value proposition which you have promised that you would provide. So the customers would have an expectation that they would get that in return. So it communicates that promise, and it might have certain distinct features, right? Based on it, which it makes itself different from its competitors. So it shows how its products are unique from its competitors, right? So this is actually something about a brand. So good brand would be obviously something that once it defines how it wants to be perceived, once it build and organize its business based on that promise, once it's communicate that promise and fulfill it, and then if it is being consistent with that value proposition and that promise which it made in the initial phase, then obviously that would be a good brand in the minds of its customers. Because obviously it all depends upon how you connect with your customers, how would you connect with your target audience, right? So this is what we talk about, what makes a good brand. Okay. Then again, we might talk about different brands, right? Let's say in the context of mobiles, I hope that would be something of interest to all of you, because all of you use smartphones, right? So if we talk about Apple, we talk about Oppo, we talk about Samsung, we talk about Xiaomi. How do you decide which smartphone you would like to purchase or do you like the most, right? And when you think about each brand, what are they known for? According to you, is fine, okay? And which brand, according to you, is more successful and why? I would like your response on these three aspects, your own perspective on that. So we can have a discussion on this. I'm waiting for your responses in the chat. Feel free to share your response. There's no wrong or right answer in this. Okay, so I have one response, Xiaomi, since it's affordable and offer the same feature. Anyway, exactly. Oh, by the way, I'm also personally, I'm user of, I'm user of Oppo, but I agree with that. Xiaomi and Oppo and these kind of brands are like affordable and also offer same feature. Like if you are concerned about just usability for a few reasons, so fine, it works very well in that context. I would like to receive responses from others as well. Like I hope everyone uses mobile. So whichever brand you use, why do you think you use that? And what are the reasons behind it? Like based on what value propositions that it gives you that you are using those brands of mobile. Okay. So I hope my voice is clear to everyone, because I'm feeling like, can you confirm, is my voice clear?
It is clear, sir.
Oh, yeah, okay, thank you.
Very
Thank
clear.
you. Fine. Okay, so as mentioned here that there are different brands, they offer different value propositions, different values to different target audience. Might be that someone is concerned about security, so he might go for Apple, right? Because he might be having a very sensitive data maybe, or even if not, he might be very sensitive about his privacy and all that stuff. He might say, okay, I really care about security, so I'm going for Apple. Someone might be, okay, fine, I do not have that much of sensitive data. Privacy is fine up to a greater extent, so I might go for some reasonable and affordable phone. So you might go for another brand. So the purpose behind this slide is that every brand offers a certain value to its own target audience. That's based on the promise it has communicated to its target audience. So it's completely fine if someone is using Apple and someone is using Oppo. This is because they have aligned their values, they have aligned their mindset, whatever they want with the brand, and that's what brand has really captured. So the brand has captured one of the target audience that is concerned about affordability. It has its own market. Another brand that is concerned about security, luxury maybe, It has its own target market. So this is what's actually about the brands and the different value it provides. Okay, then we would move forward towards personal brand. Okay, so when you talk about personal brand, it actually answers this question that who are you? Like, for example, all of a sudden, who asks you, who are you? I mean, besides your name, what else you're going to tell him? Fine, because there should be something captivating that you tell him and that he's interested to know more about you. Okay, so if I say a brand is a company's promise to the people to its customers, similarly, your personal brand is your promise to the people around you, because you live in between the people, in between a society. So your brand is your promise to the people around you. Or in other words, your personal brand is the sum total of experiences that people around you have based on the promises you make and the value you provide, right? So that would be something which you can call your personal brand. And that personal brand tells people what they can expect from you, because you might have made certain promises, you might have made certain projections in their mind about yourself, about your own image, right? So you might have made a distinction that how you are unique from other people. What are some unique characteristics that differentiate you from a pool of candidates, maybe, or even within a society generally, right? So your personal brand depends all on you, and you can shape it in the way you want it, right? So that's very important when we talk about personal branding. Okay, so when someone say, I need a certain person for a certain job, there are a lot of candidates. Why would someone choose you? Okay, so that's a critical question. So obviously someone would choose you based on the value of your brand, based on your image, the projection which you have, based on certain characteristics, skill set that you have. Okay, so whenever it's about a school, college, or a coach, how do they decide who to choose, right? So this is one of the questions. And what do you promise to your employer, team, or school? And what can they expect from you, and how are you unique? So these are some of the questions which we need to look into. And that's where personal branding comes into place, and we can use LinkedIn for that, okay? How do you do that? You do that by reflecting your skill set, your values, things you care about, your energy and enthusiasm. Okay, so just look at this profile on the slide for the Zawad Alam. He's one of our movers envoy from Bangladesh. Like, see, his profile reflects a lot of things about him. Okay, that he's an envoy at EMK Center. He's a business and design enthusiast. This is one of something which you can get from his headline. He's a content creator. Okay, he have mentioned his experience. He have put a professional photograph. He has even mentioned his volunteer experience. We would talk about importance of volunteer experience as well. Okay, so these are some of the things which actually sets you apart from your competitors in a pool of candidates. Okay, so as we mentioned before, your brand includes who you are now. That includes your skills, network, and information, because you might have heard about it that your network is your net worth. So who you are around to be and you work with reflects a lot about you. And the schools where you have studied from, where you work, the work experience you have, the specific skills you learned in each job or class, and your areas of expertise and wisdom, right? So that how much information you have, how much exposure do you have. And your brand also includes what you want to be in the future, right? It is reflected by your values. What are some of the things that you care about? For example, are there certain sustainable development goals that you care about? For instance, I might say that I might care about quality education as DD4. Okay, I might say I care about climate action as DD13. So these are certain things that those are ingrained in my values, and that gives meaning to my life if I work on that, even voluntarily, right? And the goals, what you want to be doing in 3, 5, 10, 15, 30 years in the future. So a vision of yourself, that how visionary you are. So these reflect your brand as well. You might have heard about the mission and vision statements, right? So this is something similar in that context, in the context of personal branding. Okay, so for example, if we might say that Zawad cares about SDGs, these are some of his values, he's very creative, his goals include public speaking, working on his public speaking skills, right? And he's a very responsible person. So these are some of the things that define his personal brand or professional brand. Okay. Now, I would want you all, I hope you would feel comfortable with this activity. We would be going into the breakout rooms, and I would request the host to, and in fact, I would like to get his opinion if we should do it in the breakout room or should we do it in the main session, this activity. You'll be having, let's bring it down to 10 minutes. We'll be creating breakout rooms where you can discuss these questions. There are three points, right? So share three words your friends would use to describe you. What do you want people's impression of you to be? And is there a difference between what you want and what others see? And how can you create the personal branding you want, right? Just as an example to give you a head start, right? So I might say that the three ones my friends would use to describe me is that I'm a resonant creator. Resonant connector. I mean, because of the fact that I connect with people who are on the right track. I'm usually quiet, but when I find the right company, I'm the most vocal then. Okay, so and I really passionately and enthusiastically engage with them. With that, my friend, perfectionist in one sense, which might be a negative aspect, but also a good aspect from the fact that I care about moving towards perfection, because I see myself as someone who tried to strive for, not completely achieve, but at least move towards that direction, right? And similarly, they might call me hardworking. So these are some of the three words I just gave you as an example. You might think about it for yourself, discuss it in the breakout rooms, and after 10 minutes, we would be returning back to the main session where we would be actually discussing with each other what they said. Okay, so let's go, guys. Please be active and share your. Okay, so I would just like to take your perspective as well, Mohammed. Should we go to the breakout rooms or should we continue this in the main session? Like we
Sorry,
have.
Mr. Abdul.
Yes.
How much breakout is needed for this activity?
I think we should keep it for 10 minutes because I think it can be done.
How much breakout from that we need to this activity?
We can create it. I think 10 persons per room.
10%
That
per
would
room.
be 10 participants per room, but although that would be too much participants in a single room, but we have a lot of participants, so I think 10 would work. Or you can go with the other number. And just one thing to make an announcement, take screenshot of this slide so that you have it for reference. You need to discuss these three points with each other in the breakout rooms and come up with your responses for that within 10 minutes. And after that, once you return to the main session, then we would be asking a group leader from a few random breakout rooms who can share it with us in the main session. Okay. So we can just do this for 10 minutes and then we would be returning to the main session. Okay, so Mohammed, are you creating the breakout rooms or?
Yes, we already made those.
Okay, fine. So. Okay, so the participants are requested to kindly join the breakout rooms. I mean, you would have this join breakout from there. You can.
Oke, untuk teman-teman, saya izin menjelaskan menggunakan bahasa Indonesia. Jadi teman-teman itu diminta untuk masuk ke dalam salah satu breakout room, yang dimana satu breakout room itu berisi kurang lebih 10 orang. Jika misalnya sudah memenuhi, boleh untuk join ke breakout room yang lain. Dan kalian harus mendiskusikan tentang eh, share screen dari PPT ini. Nanti bakalan ada sesi diskusinya kembali kalau misalnya sudah memenuhi waktu 15 menit ke depan.
So Muhammad, after how many minutes are we going to end the breakout rooms? I think at 25, is it? I mean, it's 8:25. It would be 8:25 in Pakistan. I'm not sure.
Probably 10:30. Is it okay?
No. I'm asking about the breakout room.
Oh, what about it?
I think we should end it within 1 minute.
Oh,
Fine?
okay.
Because we are doing it anyways in the group main session as
In
well.
the main session, yes.
Yeah. I think the participants are feeling a bit hesitant about sharing their views, so
Yeah.
that it would be good for them to talk to each other in the breakout room and then.
Okay. So, should we end the breakout room?
Yeah, within a minute.
Okay. Okay, we've already disbanded the breakout rooms.
Wait for the participants. Okay, so meanwhile, I'll share the screen again. Meanwhile, the participants are joining one by one from the breakout rooms. Any one of the groups whose group leader would like to take the lead and share what they discussed in their breakout room, you can share, you can even unmute your mic, it's okay. You can even talk in your own language, but as long as someone from you translate it for me, because I don't understand Indonesian. So these were the 3 points where we wanted to discuss in the breakout room, and we would like to do that in this group sharing activity in this main session. You all are welcome to share your views, what you discussed. Any of the group leaders from any of the breakout rooms can share their response. Yeah. Meanwhile, just a random question again. You can even share any word your friends would use to describe you. I mean, a good word, obviously not something kind of they tease you, but something which they would use to praise you. Fine. So I hope you would feel comfortable about sharing that. Any good word your friend would use to describe you, or your colleagues, or your boss, or your teacher, or your parents, or your friends, anyone. You can share that in the chat. Even if that's in an Indonesian language, fine. I just want to say. So Muhammad, would you like to share something about yourself? Like anything on these points?
Okay, so probably from me myself, 3 words my friends will use to describe myself is someone who how should I say it? Uh, Adult, mature. Is it a winner word? Mature, more mature than the most kids back in the day. And second of all, what should I say?
Might be that
Probably initiative. because
Yeah.
I initiate things a lot. And the third thing is um, a quiet. I don't talk really a lot, but when I talk, I initiate things. So probably an introvert, I probably would say.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so see, as Mohammed shared, everyone has a certain qualities based on which your friends or your community would call you in good words something, right? So that in one way or another defines your professional brand as well. Okay, so then you look at into these things. Okay, they call me this. What I actually care about, what skill set do I have? And then how can I make a projection to be the best version of what I want to be perceived as? Okay. So these are a few things, few lines on which you can think, and then you can come up with a very good and customized personal brands. Okay. So someone shared that my friend said that I'm a quiet person, but when they actively talk to me, they said that I'm actually very talkative and often don't know when to stop a conversation. So Nathan is saying that exactly. You see, that's also the case with me. I used the word initially resonant connector. So this was something I kind of brainstormed. Okay, so I said, okay, fine, I'm quiet. But then when I find the right company, I'm the most talkative and vocal, right? And I'm very energetic in that company. So what would be something that I should use to kind of convey this message, or maybe something that's catchy for that? So I said, okay, fine, resonant connector. I mean, like when my energy resonates with the right people, the right kind of people, I feel really good, right? So this was just one example I gave you. Similarly, you can think on these lines. You can come up with other very attractive words and interesting words, which can make people think, okay, what does it mean? Tell me more about it. Okay. So that would spark a conversation. We will move forward to the main part, the actual technical, not very technical, I think, but actually the all about LinkedIn, right? So how to build your LinkedIn profile. Uh, Before moving towards that, just a simple question: how many of you already have a LinkedIn profile, and how many of you don't have it? If you don't have it, so obviously in this session we are going to tell you about how to actually create it, and if you have it, then also we will tell you how to optimize it, right? So no worries for both of you. So I'm waiting for response. You can simply say yes or no, yes or no. Yes would be that I already have it. No would be that I don't have it. I'm going to make the LinkedIn profile today, right? Okay, so yeah, one of them, they have it. Yes, I already have it. Alfonso already have it, right? Okay. So yeah, oh, fine. Even if you don't have it, this workshop today is for the purpose that we tell you what is LinkedIn and how to make your LinkedIn profile. So you would be encouraged to actually make a LinkedIn profile because of its benefits, right? So like we have people in this workshop who already have a LinkedIn profile. We also have people who don't have it. And we have some people who are confused if they have it or if they don't have it, right? So everything is fine. As long as you're in this workshop, we are going to cover all of these things. Okay, so we would talk about setting up your LinkedIn profile. What is the difference between a profile and resume, and the importance of taking a great photo, professional photograph for your LinkedIn profile, and importance of customizing and editing your profile, right? So starting with the very basic step, taking the initial step towards setting up your LinkedIn profile. So if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, those of you who said we don't have a LinkedIn profile, if you are connected to this meeting through a mobile, you can grab your laptop and go to the linkedin.com website, and you can just sign up to create your account. Or if you're connected to this meeting through your laptop, you can just take your mobile, go to the Play Store or App Store, and just download the LinkedIn app, right? And then sign up. Okay, register and make your account on that. Okay, so I hope those of you who don't have a profile, they would make their profile and sign up on LinkedIn platform. Later on, we are going to discuss how to optimize it. So before moving towards that, we talk about difference between profile and resume. Okay, so when we talk about resume, we talk about something very specific, right? So because resume might be crafted for a very specific position, for a certain position or a certain company that you want to apply for, right? So it might not be giving that kind of a very vast or broad view, okay? But if we talk about profile, and here from profile over here, I mean the LinkedIn profile. It gives a very big view. I mean, it's reflecting and it's telling the overall story about you to the people, to your community, to your connections, right? So there are big differences between your LinkedIn profile and your resume. Because, for example, your LinkedIn profile would speak to all potential employers, right? In different companies. It won't speak to just one employer in just a single company, okay? Furthermore, as I mentioned before, that your LinkedIn profile would go into much more detail. It would include details about the activities which you did, any video which you uploaded, any projects which you did, your interests, endorsements, skills, recommendations, your educational background, and the kind of things you did in that. Okay, so it gives you a very vast space to write about a lot of things and give a really good picture about who you actually are. Okay, and then it also allows other professionals to interact with you, right? For example, if you send resume to someone, fine, done, that's it. Not much or more of an interaction kind of thing. But if you talk about LinkedIn, you're connected with a professional. You're connected with not just a professional, but a lot of professionals, right? You are checking their activities. You are engaging with them by commenting on their posts. You can reach out to them through the message feature, the inbox feature. You can ask them for guidance and so on. They can interact with you. They can like your posts. They can see your content that you're producing on this platform, the activities which you are doing. So it actually gives you a spotlight, right? So it highlights your overall personal brand, that what you are actually doing, and that authenticates, kind of validates your overall brand personality. And also, as I mentioned before, it contains recommendation and endorsement that actually verifies, okay, that this person, I have worked with him, he contains this kind of qualities, and I can vouch for him that he would be an asset to your organization. Okay, so these are a lot of things that various employers would be concerned about, and they would take these into account while hiring you, or even for general recommendation, connections, and so on. Okay, so that was just a general difference between profile or resume. And it is famously said that LinkedIn profile is your digital reputation. So you need to be very careful and you need to make the best use of this platform. Okay. Generally, you might have seen people putting a picture with sunglasses, looking this way or that way on a LinkedIn profile. Fine. I'm not saying that picture is wrong. But that picture is not meant for LinkedIn, because on LinkedIn, when you're posting your photo, so that should be for the same purpose, for a professional reason, right? Because you are here to seek jobs, to network with professionals. So whatever your industry you belong to, accordingly, you need to put a picture on your LinkedIn profile according to that, right? For example, you're from a business administration field, you're very well suited. And in that context, see the profile of Zawad Alam. He's wearing a very nice tie, right? A suit, and he has a smile on his face, and he has a very good photo, and not a distracted background. Okay, so that's why they say that members who have a photo, and a great photo, as we have of Zawad Alam over here on display, they receive 21 times more views and 9 times more connection requests. So you see, more views means that you are more exposed to the professional community. They're more interested in your profile because they're watching that. And furthermore, more connection requests means that your overall community is expanding, your connections are expanding, and that can expose you to many job opportunities, right? Because it is said that more than 50% hires occur from a personal recommendation or personal connection, okay, on LinkedIn. Because these were some of the stats I was going through one of the LinkedIn courses made by LinkedIn itself. And it was actually stating that some of these figures. So that was quite interesting, because personally, I have seen that even in my context, that I received one or two such job offers where the employer or the head of department who was actually hiring already knew me. And he was like, oh, I know you. I have seen your activities. And since you are doing this and that, that's why I'm interested in you working with me in my organization. So that was something quite interesting for me, that, okay, fine. See, I never knew that he was noticing my activities. But this is what actually matters in terms of your LinkedIn profile. So about the photo, again, use a background that isn't distracting, dress for the job you want, smile and have a friendly expression, okay? And make sure your face takes up most of the frame. It's okay that you don't get the perfect shot once, fine. Keep changing your profile photo and try to make it as better as possible with the passage of time. Your headline, again, when we talk about headline, it's something where it's kind of an elevator pitch concept where you have very less time, a few seconds, and you just need to attract or grab someone's attention, right? So for that, you have to think about it. If it is the only thing that someone sees, what does it say about me? And does this actually represent my professional brand and show how I am unique or why someone should choose me, okay? So you need to take these things into consideration, right? And also you need to take into the account what a recruiter would look for and what does he actually care about. So you need to capture these aspects within your headline, okay? Generally, it is said that your headline should consist of industry keyword, pinpoint exactly what you do, and any of your side hustle, right? For example, your industry keyword might be anything, like, for example, project lead trainer, as an example, an industry keyword, and pinpoint exactly what you do, that you train people to achieve their maximum potential, right? Just as an example. And your side hustle might be that you love reading books, you love listening to podcasts, and so on. This is just as an example. You can see a few of examples on the slide as well. The design thinking meets social impact meets business strategy. This is just a dummy example. Or strategic revenue partnership marketing and development executive. Okay, one which the kind of headline which I really liked the most was one which was also posted by Skill or Future platform about the one magic trick for your LinkedIn headline, where you actually talk about your purpose, starting with the purpose, then you might add industry keywords later on and the side hustles and so on, those aspects. So that was something like the one of the Din Long was supporting youth to achieve greater impact. So that was reflecting his purpose. That was something captivating as well. I will also show you my own personal headline when I'll give you a live demo. So you'll also look into it, the examples of it, right? So these are some of the aspects where you need to take into account in the headline case. Okay, so your story in your own words, you already talk about it, and I think it would be more better if we look into it in the live demo. Location and industry work and internship experience, volunteering experience, and like all educational background, certifications, program, and organization. It would be better if we look at it into it in the live demo. So I would quickly go through it, right? Summary, again, I'll quickly go through it because we are going to do that in the live demo as well. One important point I would like to mention to you is that summary is an opportunity for you to write about yourself and in a bit more detailed manner, right? So you might talk about who you are, what you do, why what you do matters, and what impact you want to make and how others can collaborate with you to make that impact. These are some of the aspects you can think about, right? So also on the slides, which are written 1 to 2 sentences about who you are, 3 to 5 sentences about your experience, top skills, and key passions, and 1 to 2 sentences about your future goals and how the members can engage with you. Okay. LinkedIn states that make sure to include a summary of at least 40 words, right? So like it should not be very less. Obviously, a summary about section is an opportunity for you to showcase and write about yourself. So use it wisely. If you see between these two slides, these two profiles, okay? So one is of Zawad Alam and another is of, I don't know, it's written Canada, but there is no name. Okay, so which one would you like? I mean, which one is the good one and why? Can you give me a response on that? And why? you choose a certain one over another. For example, I would say that for me, the Zawad Alam's profile is good, right? And why would that be? Because Zawad Alam's profile includes a clear name, clear headline, clear about section, a very professional photograph, and a background photo. It includes his educational background, his organization where he's working. So it includes all the details a person, an employer, or a person, a professional on the LinkedIn would need to connect to someone, to know that, okay, he is actually that person I want to connect with, or he is actually an authentic person. I don't know who this intern in big multinational based in Toronto, Canada is, because he doesn't even have a profile in this another scenario. He doesn't even have a name. So how do I know that who he is? So it means that your complete profile is very important. You do not need, you should always be careful that your profile is complete. It should not be left incomplete, right? Okay, when approaching your professional network, how should you build your network, right? Whether it should be strategically or just you randomly send connection requests. It depends upon how you approach. So when we talk about professional network, there are some interesting insights, as I mentioned before as well, that more than 50% of hires result from a personal connection. And I also gave you my own example, my personal story, that how my personal connections were actually monitoring my activities. And then they were interested because they had a certain job opening, they were interested and they reached out to me and they told me, okay, you know, I have been monitoring your activities. I saw you have been working in this area. I would like to work with you in this area, right? Fine. So that was one of my personal examples. Similarly, LinkedIn also says the same, and that's something really interesting to see. We look into the hierarchy of connections, right? First degree connections, those who are directly connected to you. For example, I say Muhammad and Finsi, if I'm not pronouncing the name wrong, I hope that's correct, right? So both of them are my first degree connection, right? So because they are directly connected to me, then I might say, okay, they also might have their own connections. So that would form the second degree connections on the top of it, right? Then I would say, okay, so their connections would also have their own connections. So that would form the third degree connection. So you see, that's a chain, first, second, and third, right? So these algorithms in LinkedIn, like, for example, if you like the post of your connection, that would show up for the second connection as well, okay? So this is what actually happens in the case of LinkedIn, right? That's why they say that your connection should be in a very strategic manner. Like, you should not randomly connect to someone. You should connect to relevant people, those who you know, so that you should have relevant news feed, and you should have you are exposed to the best possible opportunities and jobs. You can even reach out to your second degree connection. Like, you can always customize your connection request, right? You have a feature where you either directly send a request or you customize it by checking the box, and then you write something. For example, this woman wants to reach out to a second degree connection. She says that, hi Dan, I found your profile through our mutual connection. She makes a reference of a mutual connection, and then she said that I'm currently exploring career paths in technology industry and I admire your experience. I would like to join your network, right? So it shows that whenever you're reaching out to someone, you need to tell them the purpose, why you're reaching out to them, the reference point, how did you reach out to them, okay? So there need to be a purpose, and obviously there is no shame in that. You can reach out to anyone on LinkedIn, but there should be at least a certain reference point that why you are reaching out to them. You should show them certain interest. Okay, I'm interested in this job opportunity. You have this expertise and I want to learn something from you, or maybe I want you to tell me a few things or recommend someone to me that who I can reach out to in these areas to help me out with this job hunters. Or maybe you want to just stay connected to be updated about the industry updates. That's it, right? There can be a lot of reasons. You can discover existing connections, like you might have seen this feature on Facebook, on Instagram, a lot of platforms where you get relevant suggestions of people you can connect to in front of you. So similarly, you have that on LinkedIn as well. Okay, searching for company, and we will do that in the live demo. Like, how do you search for company? You can even search for people by name, company, location, keyword, right? How do you expand your network? See, we have this profile of Din Long, who's the founder of Movers Program, one of the pioneers, along with Lenka. So this is his profile. So like, I would connect to him. Then I would see, okay, fine. He has a community of the same mindset, same values, same interests. I'm also exposed to his connections in one way, right? So I would get a chance to interact with the like-minded people, right? Okay, so that's why I said always expand your network strategically, not randomly. Expand your network strategically again. Okay, so who should I reach out to? We already covered that. People who you have something in common with. For example, I'm from the field of Islamic finance. I would like to be I would interested to connect with people from Islamic economics background, Islamic finance background, and share ideas, brainstorm, because I would always want to be engaged in relevant discussions, right? Or furthermore, I have a side hustle, right? I'm interested in digital branding and employability. I'm interested in SDGs. I would also want to be connected with people of the same values, same interests. So I am usually connected with people from the Movers program, Skills Are Future, right? And other, like now I would, today I'm connected with you people, interacting with you. So these are some things where our values align with each other, right? So you should reach out. For example, someone from the today's workshop reach out to me, say, okay, fine, I attended your workshop today. I want to connect with you. I want to maybe want further guidance. I have this question, I have that question. I want further guidance on LinkedIn optimization. So that would be something which would give you a reference point, and you would have something in common with. What should I say? Already we talked about that, who you are, how you came profile, and how they can help you. You do this search in the live demo, search for jobs. Okay, so another stats, more than 34 million job seekers visit LinkedIn jobs every week, right? So this is something which is very important for you to take into consideration, that a lot of people are already taking advantage of LinkedIn. They're already visiting LinkedIn jobs every week. They're searching for jobs and they're grabbing the opportunity. And if you are not on LinkedIn, it means that you are missing that opportunity, right? So yeah. So when we would be searching for jobs, we would look at it through keywords. We would look at it through job title. We can even look at it through experience level, function, date posted, company, location. So there are a lot of filters that you can apply during your job search for LinkedIn. Okay, so we would now move towards the live demo. And in the live demo, before live demo, I just want to make this comment on LinkedIn Learning, because there is a similar platform. LinkedIn provides you an opportunity to enhance your skill set through LinkedIn Learning courses. There are a lot of courses posted on LinkedIn Learning. There are some free, and there's some, it gives you at least a free trial, 1 month free trial. So you can take benefit of that, but even if you pay for it, that's worth it. But you can take benefit of it during the free trial as well. And there are a lot of courses crafted by industry experts that can give you an edge, and you can learn a lot of in-demand skills through that, okay? So let's move towards the live demo. Can you see my LinkedIn profile? Is it visible?
Yes, it is, sir. Very visible.
Okay, fine. So you can see my LinkedIn profile, right? So here is my LinkedIn profile. The interface is a bit different when you see it on app and when you see it on laptop, like the browser PC. So when I was talking about the background, this is the background. For example, I made this background. Few tools which I would recommend you. I'm not a graphic designer, to be honest, but I made this on my own, right? This background. I use the Canva tool for that. Canva is very easy. Like, you can play with it on your own. I built that from scratch on Canva, and it was fun. You would even get a little bit of skill set of graphic designing on Canva at least, right? So you make it on your own. Similarly, this photo, like I said, it should cover, your face should cover most of the frame, right? Like for the kind of the job, because my industry is usually financial services industry, like people are very well suited and ties and all that stuff. So I had to make a similar kind of photo for that. Still, it's not the perfect photo, but it was the photo which I could get for now for myself. And then this is where you have your name, you have your joining info, right? So for example, when I was talking about, you can even edit your name on LinkedIn, but obviously you would always keep your proper professional documented name, right? Don't keep names which like don't write your nicknames. I would recommend don't write your nicknames on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a professional platform. You keep your professional name on that. Then you can even, if you want, you can add additional name, because LinkedIn gives you the feature, but I personally recommend, that's my recommendation, just go for your professional name. This is where you write your headline, the headline which I was talking about. See, for example, I wrote promoting financial inclusion through Islamic finance literacy. So this was something which I might say that I'm engaged in, and that's something I'm currently most into, because I usually, through my organization, we are engaged in Islamic finance awareness. So that's something which contributes to financial inclusion, consequently contributes to financial inclusion. So that would be something reflecting my purpose, what I care about at the moment, even through my professional job. Then, although this is something which is just about my organization through which I'm actually achieving this thing, so I just wrote that because I thought maybe if someone sees that, I want similar people to connect with me from the same industry, from people within Pakistan or even abroad who care about Islamic finance. I want them to directly connect with me, and I want them to know that, okay, I'm also that person. I'm also the kind of person from the same tribe, right? And besides that, like I wrote, I'm facilitator, I'm a content creator. I even wrote a few other things, but you see, your headline, you always keep changing that. I had a lot of other things on my headline before, but I just removed that. Okay, I said, okay, for now, I need to narrow down my focus again. Then I keep adding some new things again. For example, I add resonant connector, right? So that would be something which I added new into my platform, okay? And that would reflect something, as we discussed before, that I'm usually quiet, but when I find the right community, I'm really vocal, and so on. So you can add a lot of things in a similar manner in your headline. Furthermore, a LinkedIn suggestion is that you can also add industry keywords. You can add your current position, your industry, where you're mostly engaged in, your education, your location, right, and your contact info and so on. So you can all edit that through this place, okay? This is the place. You can see the edit icon, right? I hope that's clear. Then you can add a lot of profile sections, right? You can add education. You can add education through this place, right? Then you can add position, any position where you, for example, you're working in a certain position at a company. You can add even services, like if LinkedIn also offers a good opportunity for freelancers these days, that they can add their services through which they can sell their services on this platform. And interesting features about career break as well. You can add a career break, you can add skills, and in skills, I would tell you there is also a feature of endorsements. You can, through which you can people can endorse you. You can add, furthermore, the LinkedIn also provides a recommended section, which includes add featured. I'll also show you the featured section. You can add any of the licenses which you have, any of the certifications. For example, you will get certificate for today's workshop. You can post that on LinkedIn, tell about your experiences, what you learned, and what were the key takeaways. You post that on LinkedIn, people would engage, you tag relevant organizations and so on. So that would enhance your profile. You add projects, you add courses, recommendations, and additional might be publications. You know what? One of the most important thing, you might look down at the volunteer experience, but according to the insights from LinkedIn, when I was taking their course, more than around 50%, 40%, sorry, of the employers actually consider volunteer experience as equivalent to the formal work experience. So never look down on your volunteer experience. If you have any volunteer experience, always mention it in the volunteer experience section of LinkedIn, right? You can add publications, patents, honors, award, test scores, so many things. That's why I said LinkedIn is a digital reputation. It reflects and tells your whole story about you as a human, right? So these were about, you can also write open to whether you are hiring. If you are a recruiter, you can write I'm hiring, but since in your case, you all are students, so obviously you would write, if you're a freelancer, we are providing services, right? So you can write that. And you can also do the open to work, right? So if you want to reflect to the employer that you're open to work, just make sure that you do that. If you just write open to work, okay? I have personally done it just for recruiters only, because I don't because I'm concerned with the recruiters, right? So recruiters know that I'm open to work. People should not know, it's okay. But it depends upon you. Most of the people even put a tag on their profile picture that open to work. So fine, nothing wrong with that as LinkedIn, right? It is for the same purpose. You have a lot of insights. You can see who viewed your profile. I mean, anyone who viewed your profile, you can get to know about that through LinkedIn, your post impressions and search appearances, your network, saved items, right? This is the featured section I was talking about, okay? So anything which you think is very important for you to give it a spotlight, and you want that it should be highlighted the first. When someone comes to my profile, he should see that first, that I did that. So that should be on your profile. So for example, these are some of the few posts which were relevant to my academic and professional qualification, contributing to professional qualification. I put that in the featured section, right? And so on. And you do that featured section, you do that through, you have an option of open creators mode. You'll see that in the app as well. So you do that through that, okay? Experience section, I think I already mentioned this, but this is actually the clear view of experience section, where you can see, okay, so this is your experience. You can add experience, right? Or you can edit experience, fine? So you can do both of that. One recommendation, see, for example, if I wrote about my experience, I also wrote what I actually did in that. And what are the relevant skills which I acquired during the process or used during the process, right? You can write both of that. So this is very recommended that you actually write what you actually did in the job. Because if you just write, okay, fine, I was an intern, but you do not write what did you do actually in that job. So it would not actually reflect the professional brand, that what skill set do you have? It would not reflect that, okay? So you need to mention that. If you have any visuals, so for example, you have certificate of completion, post that in the media section, right? Like, let me give you, see, when you go to the edit section, you have this option that you write the title. For example, that's someone intern, that was internship, the organization that was, for example, State Bank of Pakistan. And then you write the date, description, skills, you add the skills, all the skills you acquired during the process, and then you add media. For example, I put one of the certificates of completion in that, right? So that validates, okay, he actually has done that. So the employer wouldn't need to give a second check, okay, call the organization, ask if he actually did that or not. You would already have all the evidence in front of him, right? So that's one of the recommendations. So this is about the experience section, how you edit it, how you optimize it and make it more effective. You move towards the education. Again, in education, for the degree which I have completed, I put my transcript over there, wrote about all the relevant courses, licenses and certifications. You can add and edit. I hope I already give you a demo of how to edit and add, so that's easy for you. Volunteer experience. See, I told you about the volunteer experience. So there is a separate section on LinkedIn, volunteering. So you put your volunteer experience on that, okay? Then skills. I was talking about the recommendations and endorsements, right? So for example, for endorsements, I might say that Islamic banking. So these are some of the people which actually endorsed me recently for the Islamic banking skill, right? Similarly, I might say that I have a lot of other skills. See, now, for example, for public speaking, some of the people who endorsed me, it says that endorsed by 6 people who know the skill, right? So it means that it actually validates that the people who already know the skill, they have also endorsed my skill set. So it further enhances your profile in that context. So for example, 28 recommendations for public speaking, similarly skill 6, and so on. This is what I was actually referring to, that this is very important when you're talking about skills. Always ask your community, even your friends, colleagues, your boss, your teacher. Ask them, if you feel that I am worthy and I do possess this skill set, can you kindly give me an endorsement on my profile for this, right? So they would endorse you. Similarly, recommendations. These are the recommendations. You can request a recommendation, right? So for example, you do that, ask for a recommendation. You can give a recommendation to someone. For example, ask for a recommendation. I might search for, let's say, one of my connection, share. He's one of our movers fellow. I asked him to recommend me. So I would click on his profile and I would continue, right? So this is how you would actually go for recommendation. Then you type your message that, can you kindly give me a recommendation? For example, my boss gave me a recommendation. He talked about my skill set, my work ethics, and all that stuff. Similarly, Keelan, she's one of the pioneers in the Movers program. She gave me a recommendation, another recommendation. So again, recommendation also gives an endorsement that, fine, this person has this skill set or he possesses these values, right? You can add courses, honors, and awards, and all that stuff. I was going a little bit fast on this because I thought that I'm running out of time, but I hope you would have got the essence of the overall LinkedIn, at least the profile page, right? And how you're going to approach it. One more thing I would like to, a tip, I think, which might not be part of this curriculum, but I usually give public profile and URL. Most of the time you have a public profile URL, which includes numbers like 1, 2, 3, and so on, like maybe based on your email, which might have a numbers. So it might look a bit awkward, but if you see, so here I'm telling you this feature, public profile and URL. You can even edit your public profile in URL, right? So you go to this place, you click on edit, and you can make your public profile URL as per your own choice. For example, initially my one was like Abdul Samad Khan and 1 9, something like that. But then I changed it to Abdul Samad Khan Wazir, right? So that's now exactly based on my own name. So this is how you can actually edit it and then save your URL. So that's how you would customize your public URL, right? So these are some of the features we talked about. Now let's move towards the jobs hunting, right? So for example, I might be looking for an, from my own field, for now, I'll give it a title, let's say Sharia Audit Manager, right? And I'll search for remote. See, I got only once, no, not one. Yeah, only one relevant search result, because that was the only one which I could get in Pakistan. So these are the filters which I applied. I can do it on site. I would get 8 results. See? So this is how you actually search. You can even filter it based on the past month, past week, past 24 hours, anytime. You can even filter it based on the internship, whether you want internship. Obviously, the title keyword is Sharia Audit Manager, so it cannot be an internship, but it can be associate, mid senior level, and so on, right? You can find based on the companies. Okay, fine, I want it in a specific company you want to search. So you can even filter it based on that. All right, so you can even reset all the filters again. Got it? You can even, okay, so now I'll be getting the results based on this. You can even similarly put any keyword, search for that, and you can search for it based on regions, for example, worldwide, right? Country, even a certain specific city, depends upon you. What are your needs? People you may know, okay? So this is the kind of feature where you get people follow based on your profile, right? So these are the relevant people, like people which comes in front of you, people you may know based on your recent activity, or based on your industry, or based on your educational background, right? Based on your organization, the different suggestions which you can get. Got it? So that's all about the live demo on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions specific to this live demo, so you can ask. Furthermore, I think we would move towards the slide and almost end it. Okay, so anyone have any questions? You can raise your hands, you can type in the chat. I would be happy to answer it. Okay, so you can similarly, as I showed you, you can search in the search tab, you can search for groups, you can search for companies, and then you can join the groups and follow companies, right? So find and join groups of professionals to give and get career help and resources by filtering for groups using the resource search bar. And you can follow companies of your own interest. You can join the groups of own interest. You can join your alumni groups and so on, right? Here are some of the 3 groups, like you can join Movers Program, Community, you can follow the pages of LinkedIn, Youth Collab Movers Program, Skills Are Future. There is also Skills Are Future page on LinkedIn. You can follow that. In the end, if you have any questions and what are your main takeaways, I'll be waiting for that in the chat. Meanwhile, I'll just explain this slide for you, that what are the next steps for you, what you can do to enhance your professional brand. So for example, today you attended this workshop on digital branding and employability. You learned about LinkedIn, how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, what are the do's and don'ts, and what steps you can take to further enhance it, right? How you have to approach your network, how to strategically build your network. So whatever learnings you had today, first to build your LinkedIn profile, make certain connections, then you post your learnings on that. Okay, today I learned about this. Or even if in your university you learn about a certain topic, you reflect on that and write on LinkedIn, okay, today I learned about this, I think about it in this way, and what would be its implication for the industry, for the job market, and so on. Your opinion, it's fine. So you tag the relevant organization. For example, in our case, usually when we do Movers Workshop, we attend Movers Workshop, we get the certificate, then we post it, tag Movers, LinkedIn for Movers, and we do this stuff. And that's how we attract our community. You apply this, you teach the same within your own community. Like if you feel confident enough, hopefully you all would have got enough knowledge about LinkedIn. So you conduct a similar workshop with your friends, teach it to your maybe siblings, other friends within your community, and in a fun manner, right? So yeah, any questions and what are your main takeaways? You can share that in the chat.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Abdul, for presenting the material. For the audience in this Zoom meeting who have any questions or opinion about the topic we just explained by Mr. Abdul may use the raise hand feature on the Zoom and starts to speak when allowed to. Or you can write the question in the Zoom chat. And you can also use Bahasa Indonesia if you really are nervous with English, and I can translate it for you in English. So thank you.
Feel free to share any of your questions if you have, and you can also share your feedback. What are your main takeaways on today's workshop? And yeah. Okay, it depends. It depends. Okay, so there is a question that do you think it is needed to upgrade a LinkedIn account to be premium? I had premium for the past 1 year, but it depends how you use it, right? I did not actually need it at that time. I did not actually need a premium account at that time because I was not actively searching for jobs. premium account actually gives you an edge in terms of the fact that you can easily stalk through the profile of other professionals. But I think it's okay, even if the other professionals get to know that you viewed his profile, because LinkedIn is for this purpose, right? That's just on a lighter note. But my opinion is that LinkedIn Premium actually gives you an opportunity to easily message someone or allow other people to directly message you, right? And furthermore, it also gives you an access to LinkedIn Learning. So a lot of in-demand courses, you can easily learn that if you have access to LinkedIn Premium account. Okay. So there are certain other benefits as well in terms of like no limitations on the connection requests which you can send. And yeah, so these are some of the things. So I think it depends upon your need. If you're actively searching for a job, I think LinkedIn Premium could give you an edge, because you can directly, sometimes you're not directly connected to a recruiter, and you can not even send him a message until unless you are not directly connected to him, right? So LinkedIn Premium gives you this opportunity to bypass that channel and send him a message. Okay, so you can reach out to him, ask him, okay, fine, I have applied for this job and I haven't heard about it, or maybe I'm applying for this job. I would like to receive your guidance on how should I approach this, or what are certain essential aspects that I need to take into consideration before applying for that. Depends upon the kind of questions you want to ask him, right? So I think in that context, LinkedIn can help you. But if you are just using it for now, even if you're randomly searching for jobs, fine. But again, it's a bit difficult question because it's quite context specific. I used LinkedIn Premium for the past 1 year, but it helped me in a few ways, but it wasn't that effective for me because I wasn't actively searching for a job at that time. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. If it does not, still you may ask. It's fine. But obviously, one thing, LinkedIn Premium is beneficial because obviously, if you pay for something, it gives you certain value, especially in the context of the courses. Yeah, one thing, LinkedIn Learning courses, because I got access to all the LinkedIn Learning courses, and I was able to take any course anytime I wish to do, unless my LinkedIn Premium subscription did not expire. So that's one of the greatest benefit, I think, besides other job hunting, to upgrade your skill set. Yeah, you can also do that by trying the free trial of LinkedIn. But I think even if you pay for LinkedIn Premium at the time when you really need it for job hunting, so it's worth it. It's worth it, yeah. And furthermore, one tip, because I was trying to cover this, I think we still have time, a little bit of time. I missed one aspect. Like when you're using LinkedIn, one way to approach it is that you always try to be authentic. Never try to be something which you are not, right? Like if you don't have a certain skill set, do not reflect it on LinkedIn, because tomorrow if someone gets to know, like, because certainly you are interacting with professionals, because this is your digital reputation, and once lost, you cannot it's very difficult to regain it, right? So always be authentic on LinkedIn, be genuine. Whatever skill set you have, just reflect that. Fine, it's okay. You do certain activity, you want to showcase that, do it in the best possible manner, but do not they say do not be too much exaggerating about things. Be authentic and be genuine on this platform, and showcase your skill set through your post your pictures of events, like you attended a certain workshop, you attended a certain conference, post that, write your reflections on that, what you did or what you learned, what were your key takeaways, certain people which you met. So this gives you an opportunity to network and reflect that, okay, you are actively working and that you care about your professional development. This gives a really positive image in the industry and to your professional community, the connections which you have around you. Okay. So yeah. Any other questions? If not, so I think we can also have the group photo. Right, Mohammed?
Yeah, we can take
Yeah,
one if you like.
I think I should stop sharing the screen.
Well, before ending this activity, let's document it first. For friends who are still off cam, please turn on the camera. We will start at 11:20 AM. Oke, untuk teman-teman yang masih kameranya dalam keadaan mati, boleh dinyalakan terlebih dahulu karena kita akan melakukan sesi dokumentasi. Oke, di reminder lagi kepada teman-teman yang masih keadaan kameranya off cam, boleh dinyalakan terlebih dahulu karena kita akan melakukan sesi dokumentasi. Oke, di dalam chat group itu ada link feedback movers X UNJ, boleh diisi untuk teman-teman ya sebagai feedback. Oke, kita mulai sesi dokumentasinya. Untuk slide pertama, 3, 2, 1. Second slide, 3, 2, 1. Third slide, 3, 2, 1. And the last slide, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, thank you once again for Mr. Abdul for taking their time to chit chat with us on this occasion and event. We hope we can meet again in the near future. So for now, we let you leave the Zoom meeting if you have another business to attend to respectfully. So before we end this meeting,
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdul.
Thank you.
Dear all audience, towards the end of this webinar, I would like to express my deep gratitude to our esteemed speakers for his insightful and thought-provoking presentation.
we apologize if there is any mistakes or shortcomings on our part as today's Master of Ceremony. I am Muhammad Farhan and my colleague.
Muhammad Alfinsi said goodbye and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Mr. Abdul Samad.
Thank you.
Ya, thank you so much ya, Vinci dan juga Joe.
Sama-sama, Ibu.